Okay, so let's move on. Voice is audible, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So I think in the last class we finished your model number 3 one part for 20 marks, that is based on your LTI impulse response. So if you have doubt you can ask, or else as I said we will move on with model number 5 Z transform. So you will get 2 full questions for 40 marks from model number 5. So once you finish off this, then we'll move on with your Fourier series. That is what your model number 3 second half plus 4th module. So any doubts anyone with impulse response? Shall we move on with the next new module, Z transform? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So let's move on with the next concept, next new module called as Z transform. See, you already learned what is the meaning of transform, right? So in general, what is the meaning of transform? So conversion from one domain to other domain, correct? So before going for Z transform, so let's have a quickly brush up the things, why this Z transform came into existence. Okay, so I hope everyone learned the Laplace also, right? So Laplace transform was there. So what exactly you learned in your Laplace transform? So there was also a conversion of time domain to frequency domain what happened, correct now? So the only thing comparatively to your Z transform to Laplace, it looked like similar, but only thing is your Laplace is applicable for CT signals, means continuous time. So if you want a particular transformation, am I audible here? Is it breaking?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So in order to apply purely concept for discrete, so we went for your Z transform. So clearly 2 things you should be having awareness. Whenever Laplace comes, Laplace is applicable mainly for your continuous time. But we want some conversion technique from time domain to frequency domain purely for our discrete. So there comes your Z transform. So then one more advantage is, so along with Laplace, there is one more technique called as DTFT. So this is what you are going to learn in your module number 4, that is with respect to Fourier. Okay. So discrete time Fourier transform, DTFT stands for discrete time Fourier transform. So this DTFT is also part of discrete, but it is applicable only for stable system. I'll repeat. We are discussing a new model called as Z transform. So before going for Z transform, why this Z transform come to picture, we are just doing an overview. So we know that we already had a concept called Laplace. So this Laplace transform means what? Conversion from one domain to other domain. So what all domains we are converting here? From time to frequency. So with respect to Laplace, it is applicable mainly for CT systems, continuous time signals. Okay. Whereas one more concept was there earlier before Z transform came into existence, that was DTFT, discrete time Fourier transform. So with respect to Fourier series, what is your model number 4 we have discussed later. So there we have a concept of DTFT only for DT only, but it is applicable only for stable systems. So if you get any unstable systems, then what is the way to get transformed? There comes your Z transform, which is applicable for unstable system also. So I hope everyone got the advantages of Z transform over other transforms. Am I clear till here to everyone? Am I clear till here to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what I told, Laplace is applicable for your continuous time. So whereas Z transform is like a counterpart for your Laplace, but it is for your DT. And one more advantage what I told, compared to DTFT, that is also applicable for discrete time, but that is only for stable system. But whenever you face a situation where we want for unstable condition also, we have to do some transformation from time to frequency. There comes your Z transform. So along with this, you can have one more advantage, that is respect to your linear equation. So I hope you remember a linear difference equation. So like x cube plus x1 or x plus 1. I hope you remember this difference equation. N minus 1, n minus 2 or n plus 1, so on. So difference equation, solving difference equation will become easier using Z transform compared to your earlier transformation technique. So this is also one advantages what you can get from the Z transform. So I will repeat. So solution for a linear difference equation becomes easy with respect to my Z transform. So this is all the few things what you need to analyze to know what is the advantage of Z transform over your Laplace as well as DTFT. Is it okay, Leo? Is it okay, everyone? Shall I move on? You just make a note of this 3 as a heading for introduction in Z transform. So just write the heading simple Laplace for CT, then DTFT for DT in the bracket for stable system. But to overcome all this, we went for a Z transform, which is applicable for your DT with unstable condition, as well as linear difference equation solution will become easier. Okay, so this is what brief background about Z transform. Then they may ask you what is the purpose of learning Z transform, the purpose. So mainly for discrete time system analysis, we are supposed to do this. Okay, we just add few points for the purpose. So purpose of Z transform. So bold is visible clearly. Any brightness is there here?
Yes, sir. It's visible. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So just make heading after these 3 things what you wrote as introduction. So write on the heading as purpose. So what is the purpose of learning Z transform? So the first one is for the analysis of DT signals and system. So the purpose, first one, analysis of DT. So that word you should not leave, guys. So because it is not applicable for your continuous time system. So now it means for complete model number 5, you are going to learn only about discrete time. There is no concept of continuous time here. Okay. So the purpose, first one, analysis of discrete time signals and system. So you're going to analyze DT with respect to signal system. Second one, you're going to design a filter, a digital filter design. So you're going to perform digital filter design. This you are going to learn in your next semester, a subject called DSP, digital signal processing. So there you're going to learn a concept of digital filter design. That is the second purpose, digital filter design. So last one, so you can apply this for the digital systems for synthesis purpose. Synthesizing any digital filters, we can make use of this. So synthesizing digital filters or systems. So for synthesis of digital filters or system, this Z transform is applicable. So these are the 3 major purposes of using Z transform technique. Is it okay till here? Everyone? Is it okay? Shall I proceed? Yeah. So then one more advantage or purpose you can add is your Z transform is not only applicable to real part, we can perform complex also. So it means your Z transform plays a major role with respect to transforming the things or converting from one domain to other domain in real part as well as imaginary part. Nothing but a complex numbers also possible using Z transform DT category. Okay. So if we have a signal, say I told DT means whatever input you are going to give, that should be with respect to what? A DT signal. So don't write anywhere x of t. So everywhere it should be n only. Okay. So I'm going to pass my input x of n to a Z transform. towards Z transform. So now this is time domain. I want to convert to your Z, it will convert your frequency domain, that is X of Z. So after passing input through your Z transform, I can get X of Z, where this X of Z can be real as well as imaginary, nothing but a complex number or a complex variable. So is it okay till here to everyone? Is it okay, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So after knowing this much brief, then what exactly you're going to learn in this model number 5? So you're going to start with the introduction, what you did. So if they ask you to explain the purpose or just mention the purpose, you can just tell the advantages, what all things we discussed. Then the main topic for this Z transform, start with the definition. So they may ask you to define Z transform for 2 marks. So define that with a formula. That's it. So that formula will be helpful for you to solve the problems later stage. So definition of Z transform, you're going to start. Then comes, there is a concept called ROC. So ROC stands for region of convergence. ROC. So stands for region of convergence, means at what point my Z transform is going to get converged. I hope you remember S-plane in your control system. So we used to write S-plane with x-axis as real, y-axis as imaginary, right? So we used to check out the number of poles and zeros present on that. Similarly, we have a region of convergence plane where we will tell where exactly our Z transform exists or converges or convolves. Is it okay? So you're going to learn the definition of Z transform followed by ROC concept. So in this ROC, there are different properties. So that properties of Z transform along with that problems will give you 20 marks, guys. Is it clear? So definition only for 2 marks. What you can expect? ROC is a major topic in Z transform. So that is having a properties, along with that properties, problems on that properties. So that will cover almost 20 marks for you, right? So one more question will be from your inverse Z transform. So what all things you have done? You have to do reverse concept. So inverse. So you can write Z inverse. So inverse means what? Coming back with respect to frequency to time domain, right? So you know that whichever signal in the nature, it is in analog form. Whatever I am talking, that is in analog form. What you're listening also in analog form. But you can't see how the waves are coming from my mouth and hitting your ears. You can't see that, right? If you want to analyze that, I need to place a voice modulator. Then what will happen? You can see the variations of my voice or my pitch, how it is going to differ. So it is not going to be a continuous also, right? So sometimes it will be high pitch, sometimes it is low pitch, sometimes it is normal. So that you can't see. In order to analyze that, we are going to keep a system. That is what we need to discuss. Am I clear till here to everyone? Am I clear? So Z transform model number 5, starting with definition for 2 marks and remaining 16 to 18 marks you can expect from ROC. Region of convergence on this properties are there, on the property problems are there. That covers one part of one question. And next question will be on inverse Z transform. So there is a concept called partial fraction as well as longest division method. So that we will discuss. So inverse is second part, means second question what I can expect in model number 5. So this is what the syllabus you are going to learn in model number 5. So get prepared with Z transform completely, so you can easily score 20 marks in this. So then after finishing this, we will go with your Fourier and we will wind the syllabus. Is it okay? Shall we proceed, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so just make a note of the heading as Z transform definition. So just start with the definition now. So it is a thing like a statement wise, you just need to write a representation in your formula based. Okay. And one hint is clearly mentioned for you guys. Since it is a discrete, so you can't expect any integration in this topic. Everywhere you can find only the summation. So because of your discrete category, that's why I told remember the heading discrete properly, right? Just run definition. So Z transform of x of n, Z transform of x of n is denoted by, see, whenever input x of n is there, if you apply a Z transform concept, I am going to get x of z. See the difference? A small x of n is to x of z. That z indicates I got a Z transform, that is my frequency domain. Okay, so right on. Is it done till here? So Z transform of x of n, you're going to get x of z, and it is defined as, so this is a formula you need to remember, guys. X of z is equal to summation n varies from minus infinity to plus infinity x of n into z power minus n. So this is the formula you need to remember for the complete Z transform concept. So inverse, there is a slight change, inverse that will go later. So let's analyze with respect to Z transform. Is it visible? X of n into z power minus 1. Is it okay till here? Shall we proceed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So after this formula, just add one sentence, guys. Here z is a complex variable. So z is a complex variable, and x of n and x of z. So z is a complex variable, whereas x of n and x of z are called as Z transform pair. Z transform pair. I'll repeat. After writing this formula, below this just make a note here. Z represent a complex variable, whereas x of n and x of z is a Z transform pair. Okay, and it is represented as, on this. So this is a representation for your Z transform pair. X of n is input, so Z is a complex variable. If I complete that process, I am going to get x of z. Is it okay till here?
Sir, once again you repeat the last sentence.
Yeah. So formula written here. So x of z formula is done, defined as x of z formula. Below that, here z is a complex variable, and x of n, x of z represents a Z transform pair. Okay, na till here? Shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay, after this, write down. Therefore, the Z transform pair, can be represented as, this equation. You write down. X of n, if you apply Z transform, that is Z is a complex variable, we are going to get x of z. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. So after knowing a definition of Z transform, then comes the heading called types of Z transform. So there are two types that we have to analyze here. So write down the heading as types of Z transform. So there are majorly two types, guys. One is called unilateral, one more is called bilateral. So just add the heading after this formula what we explained. Heading is types of Z transform. So first one is bilateral, and second one is unilateral. So what is the meaning of the word bilateral? Bi means what? What is the meaning of the word bi? Two sides. So whatever the formula you wrote earlier, right? So this is called as bilateral because I am applying summation on both sides, minus side also, positive side also. So whenever you find such kind of things, this is called as your bilateral. So whatever the formula you wrote earlier, same formula you can write this as a bilateral Z transform. Okay. bilateral. So what is the meaning of uni? Uni means what? Uni means what? One set Z transform. So it means one set Z transform is applicable only for either positive or negative, but the formula for unilateral is goes towards positive side. It means what? In the same formula, what we can make? We can make n is varying from 0 to infinity. Okay, n is varying from 0 to infinity. Fine. Just add this. Just a second. Yeah, so just add. So bilateral means what? Two-sided transform. If I say unilateral, so it means one-sided Z transform. So the formula become x of z is equal to. So what you should do changes here? N varies from 0 to infinity. So this is what your unilateral Z transform. So as of now, we'll be discussing only with respect to your bilateral. So unilateral will come later part of your inverse Z transform. That time we'll discuss. Is it okay till here? Everyone, is it okay? Types of Z transform, any doubts? Bilateral, in the bracket you can add two-side transform. So formula is this earlier, minus and plus infinity. Similarly unilateral, so we can write one-sided transform. The formula is this 0 to infinity. Is it okay? Is it fine, guys? Shall we proceed? Yeah. So we'll just try to solve a simple problem on Z transform, how to incorporate this formula. Then we'll move on to your ROC concept. Okay. Put on the heading as Z transform of standard signal. Take heading as Z transform of standard signal. So we'll try to analyze a simple problems what you have done earlier, but using a discrete concept of Z. We'll check out how it works. Right on. Obtain Z transform of the following sequence. Obtain Z transform of the following sequences. So they are given sequence, guys. Right on the first question. X1 of n is equals to. So sequence is given like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, and 7. So this is a given sequence. X1 of n equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, comma 0 and 7. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now in this sequence, what is the hint I told? If the arrow mark is not given, means what is the indication? So default origin will start from this one. Agree?
Yes, sir.
So default origin is this. Even though arrow mark is not given, so then you can go with this as an origin. So from this, we want to suppose to calculate Z transform. So before that, what is the values of this? So x1 of 0 is equals to 1. Clear? x1 of 1 is equals to 2. Similarly, x1 of 2. See what all things I am having here. I am just writing, that's it. Because you want this while expanding the formula. That's why I am writing here. X1 of 2 is equal to 3. Similarly, 3 is equals to 4. X1 of 4 is equal to 5. X1 of 5 is equal to 0. X1 of 6 is equal to 7. So is it how it looks, guys? After writing the values what is given in the given sequence. So since the arrow mark was not given, we have chosen the default will go as origin x of 0 and we wrote the individual terms. Is it okay till here? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now you need to write a statement every time whenever you solve a Z transform by the definition of Z transform. So by definition of Z transform, what is x of z equals to? So you need to write a statement here by definition. So this is going to be applicable for all the problems on Z transform. or inverse Z transform also. So this will carry marks, so don't forget this. Write the formula. Summation n varies from minus infinity plus infinity x of n z raised to minus n. Now for this sequence, tell me what is the value of your n, varying from where to where? Check out the sequence. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So can I vary my sequence from 0 to 6 now?
Yes, sir.
Good. So now after writing the formula, you can change the sequence next form. Don't write there only 0 to 6. So how I took this? Depending upon the sequence. Okay. So then you have to expand this, substitute the values of individual x of 0, 1, 2, 3 till 6, get the answer. That's all a simple problem you are supposed to solve. Okay. So let's try to finish this. So let me expand here. So expand this, guys. So x of 0, substitute 0 first. So it is like x of 0 into z power 0. Kata plus x of 1 z raised to minus 1. See, x of 0 nothing but this only. Since the question is given in respect to x1 of n, you can add the formula x1 of n also. Okay. So just change x1 over here. Right? Plus keep extracting this. So x2 of 2 z raised to minus 2. What I am doing, I am just substituting the values of n in this formula. That's all, nothing else we are doing. Clear? Plus x3 of 3 z raised to minus 3. So finish up this. x4 of, sorry, here it is, remains 1 only. So x1 of 4. See, why I am taking x1? Because of this question. If it is only x of n, as it is. If it is x of 2, x of 3, depending upon that, you need to write. Okay. So x1 of 4, z raised to minus 4. x1 of 5, z raised to minus 5. Plus x1 of 6, z raised to minus 6. That's all right. So you have to vary from 0 to 6. We have expanded. See, you need to show that expansion. Don't directly substitute the value. That's why I told each step carries marks. So knowingly don't lose the marks in the exam. Clear? So now substitute the values. What is x1 of 0 you got here? It says 1. So z power 0 means what? What is z power 0?
1.
1 only. So into 1 plus x1 of 1. x1 of 1 we say it's 2. So
2
z
into
raised
z
to
power
minus 1
minus
as it is. Am I clear to everyone now? Continue. Finish up this. Plus 3 z
z
raised to minus
power
2
4 plus
plus
4
4 z
z
raised to
power
minus 3
minus 3
plus 5
plus
z
5.
raised to minus 4. 0 is there, right? I think x1 of 5 is 0. So that
Yes, sir.
complete term going to be 0 only. So straight away you can write plus 7 z raised to minus 6. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So I hope you got why z power 5 is not there, because it is 0. Now what you should do to conclude the answer, see what was there, what all things you calculated was x of z, right? So that x of z is equals to, you can write that x of z as x1 also. Since x of n is given, I can write x1 of z also is equals to whatever inverse is there, you put it in this form. So it is like 1 plus 2 by z plus 3 by z square plus 4 by z cube plus 5 by z power 4 plus 7 by z power 6. So this is the way you are supposed to solve a z transform problems. Am I clear till here? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you need to conclude this problem. Just finish up till here. I'll just tell how to conclude this. Is it okay? Shall I proceed? Yeah. So after this writing, you just write a conclusion of results. Take heading as conclusion of result in that first one. So x1 of z is calculated as above. You are going to conclude or summarize this problem now. So conclusion of result, take heading. First one, x1 of z is calculated as shown above, or we have obtained x of 2 as above. Anything is fine. Is it okay written? First point, everyone?
Yes,
Shall I
sir.
proceed? Yeah. So second point tells, you write the second point like this. So you need to tell the convergence also, right? So you just see if this is not asked for convergence, this much is enough. If they ask for convergence, then you have to add the sentence what I am telling now, right? But on the second point, x1 of z is equals to infinity. X1 of z, this complete term is going to be infinity for z is equal to 0. Am I correct? If I put z is equal to 0 in this, do you think x1 of z in the above equation going to be infinity? Check out and tell me. Correct? Huh?
Yes,
Yes or
sir.
no, yeah? So you got what is the meaning of the thing what I'm asking now? I'm trying to tell you how the convergence takes place at what point of z value. If I substitute z is equal to 0 in this equation, everything is going to be infinity. So it's 1 plus infinity, nothing but infinity only. So you can conclude that therefore x1 of z converges. X1 of z converges for all values of z except z is equal to 0. I hope you got the meaning of convergence now. At what point of z I am going to get a convergence, means meeting point for each plane. So x of z is going to get converged for all values of z except z is equal to 0, because here I am going to get infinity, so I am not going to consider. I hope I am clear with this step to everyone. Yes or no? Shall I
Yes, sir.
proceed? Good. So after writing this, say we are writing result conclusion, right? Result conclusion. This is the first one we wrote, a formula. Second one is this, and hence the last one is hence ROC. So region of convergence. Hence ROC is existing for entire Z plane. So we are going to write a plane later like how we wrote. So it is like example I'm showing. Okay, if this is Z plane. So your ROC, region of convergence, exists for complete or entire plane except z is equal to 0. So this is the last point you need to conclude any problem if they ask for z transform. So I hope you got things what I told. Anybody wants me to repeat any steps? After writing the final answer, we are writing a summary of the result. Result number 1, the above equation x1 of z is obtained as shown. Step number 2, x1 of z is going to become infinity if z is equal to 0 in that above equation. Then we can tell that region of convergence or the convergence of z plane exists entirely except z is equal to 0. Similarly, last you need to conclude how exactly the region of occurrence occurred. So region of convergence is going to be applicable for the entire z plane except z is equal to 0. Is it fine? So the way to solve the problem, so this will carry 6 to 7 marks in the exam. Am I clear till yet, everyone? Am I? Any doubts here, anyone? Yeah, I'm asking you only. Any doubts?
Okay.
Okay. So let me give one more problem. So I want you to solve this and tell me where exactly your ROC exists. So then we will go on with next topic called ROC. What was the second problem? I'll just change the same question to same sequence. What was the question? Make x1 of n to x2 of n. So x2 of n is given. Then I am giving the arrow mark at 4. Right? Will you solve this? So I hope you got what is the changes you should do now. So after knowing the things, formula by definition, now tell me where exactly n is varying from. From where to where? Yeah? N is varying from
-3 to
-3 to
3.
+3. Good. Why? Because origin is exactly at 4. So it means this is going to be 0. So behind this will be -1, -2, -3, and after this will be +1, +2, +3. So this is the only change from previous to this problem. The summation you need to vary n is equal to -3 to +3 and remaining as it is. So substitute all the values and tell me what is the answer and check out what is R of C convex. Solve it. I want to solve this problem now. Finish off. If anybody have doubt, you can ask me, guys. So from the definition of Z transform, the formula you're going to write. So instead of minus in plus infinity, according to sequence we have taken. So since the origin is at 4, so remaining values will be -1, -2, -3. So from -3 to +3, the summation will be coming. Expand it and tell me what is the answer. So you can write this as x2 of Z now. So because question is given x2 of n, so it is going to become x2 of Z is equals to, yeah, expand the formula and tell me the answer. So if we show one example, it's x of -3. So minus of minus become +3 now. So this is Z cube. Correct? Everyone is agree?
Yes, sir.
Good. Similarly, plus x of -2. So this is going to be Z square. X of -1, Z power 1. So x of 0, Z power 0. X of 1, Z power -1. X of 2, Z power -2. X of 3, Z power -3. So substitute the values. What was x of -3, guys? Its value is 1. So 1 into Z cube becomes Z cube only. Correct? Huh? Plus, what is x of -2? It says 2Z square. Plus 3 Z cube. Plus, what is x of 0 value? It's only 4. Huh? Correct? Na?
Sir,
No?
3Z.
3
Z.
Z power
plus
1.
4.
Yeah. So Z power 1 plus 4. Correct? Na? Plus.
Yes, sir. Plus 5.
So value is 5.
Z power -1.
Z power -1 plus 0 alpha. Then again 7
Yes,
Z power -3. So this is what thing you have. So from this you can conclude. Therefore, x2 of Z is equals to Z cube plus 2Z square plus 3Z plus 4 plus 5 by Z plus 7 by Z cube. Am I clear? Is it what the answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now conclude the result now. So result number 1. So above equation or x of 2 is obtained as shown above. Second result. So for what value of x2 of Z I am going to get infinity? Yeah? Yeah, Ananya? So x2 of 2 is going to be Z, infinity for what values of Z?
Sir, 1, 2, 3.
1 to
3.
1 to 3.
1 and 3, sir.
Check out here what values of Z if I give Z as 0, what will happen? If I give Z as 0, what will happen to my x2 of Z?
Infinity.
Yeah. If I give Z is equal to 0, what is going to happen to my above equation? Is it going to be infinity or not?
Yes, sir.
Correct? Huh? Similarly, if I take Z is equal to infinity, then also the answer is going to be infinity only. Yes or no? Am I clear till here, everyone? Because compared to previous problem, we had in this both Z is also there, inverse also there. So because of that, if you take 0 or any infinity value, your x2 of z is going to be infinity only. So what is the region of convergence now? So region of convergence ROC exists for an entire z plane except z is equal to 0 and z is equal to infinity. Am I clear? Am I clear or not, everyone? So in the previous problem, we had only inverse concept, means divide by. So there, even if you got infinity, there was an answer, right? So similarly, in this problem, we have z also and z inverse also. So you have to check out for both the conditions of z. Z is equal to 0, what will happen? Z is equal to infinity, what will happen? If substitute this both condition, only for this two condition, this equation is going to be infinity. Otherwise, we can get the values, correct now? You can get the values for minus values also, plus values also. Is it okay till here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, this is the excuse. So this is the way you need to solve any Z transform problem if they ask in the exam. So is it fine? Shall we move on to next topic, ROC? Yeah, any doubts, anyone? Shall we move on?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So take the heading as ROC, region of convergence. Region of convergence. So take the heading as ROC. So I hope you got some idea that what exactly the ROC means, how it converts. So now we need to discuss this in detail. So if the values are less than z, where it will lie, greater than z, where it will lie, or if it is equal, where it lies. So that we will discuss now. So Jake rating as ROC. So just write a definition, guys. Definition of ROC. So expansion I told you, region of convergence. So next heading is definition. They may ask you to define and explain the significance of ROC for 4 to 5 marks. So along with this, properties are there, then problems on that. Totally you will get 20 marks from this topic itself. So be alert with this ROC now. Write down the definition. ROC is a region where Z transform converges. I'll repeat. ROC is a region where Z transform converges. Written till here? Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So once you write that, then you write next point. From definition, it is clear that Z transform is an infinite power series. So from definition, it is clear that Z transform is a infinite power series. Infinite power series. That is, this series is not convergent. That is, this series is not convergent for all values of Z. This series is not convergent for all values of Z. Hence, ROC is useful. Hence, ROC is useful in mentioning Z transform. Hence, ROC is useful in mentioning Z transform. So you got what I told everyone? So you need to know where exactly the region of convergence occur in the Z plane. So I hope in the two examples what you solved earlier, you got idea. So same thing you written a sentence, that's all. Since the Z transform definition is for infinite power series, so you can't expect a Z transform occurrence on ROC everywhere. So at some particular, maybe at 0, at infinity, just now you got no, it is not going to converge. So that is what the sentence you have written. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Go with the next heading as significance. Significance of ROC. So if they ask you to define and mention the significance of ROC, so this points what we are writing, you have to write for 4 to 5 marks. Okay. So significance number 1, significance of ROC means what is the importance of this ROC. First one, ROC gives an idea about the values of Z. ROC gives an idea about the values of Z for which Z transform can be calculated. For which Z transform can be calculated. I'll repeat. Heading is significance of ROC. First one, ROC gives an idea about the values of Z for which Z transform can be calculated. Okay. Second significance, ROC can be used to determine or to obtain or to find, anything you can add, determine causality of a system. I hope you learned this concept earlier in systems as well as your LTA impulse response. We had a concept, right? So ROC can be used to determine the causality of a system. Similarly, next significance, same concept, repeat, add the word instead of causality as stability. So ROC can be used to determine stability of a system. So these are the three major significance what you are supposed to learn in this complete chapter of Z transform model number 5. Am I clear with this point, definition as well as significance to everyone? Is it okay till here?
Yes, sir.
Good. So we'll stop here. If you have any doubts regarding the topic we have started today, you can ask, or else we'll end the session. Any doubts, guys? Anyone? Is it okay till here? So you got one range. What are things you're going to learn in this syllabus? Is it fine to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good.